So a lot of people ask me for advice on pre-workout. They're always looking for a good brand of pre-workout and what they should look for in the ingredients. So I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown of what to look for when it comes to pre-workout, which, by the way, is like my number one most important supplement. Pre-workout for me, it's the catalyst for a good workout. Pre-workout can make the difference from having like a half-assed 45-minute workout to a crazy 2-hour training session where I feel like I'm on God mode the whole time. And I burn way more calories, do more damage to my muscles. And over the course of a long time, that can really make a big difference. So pre-workout, I would definitely recommend it for most people. But there are a few things that you're going to want to consider when it comes to pre-workout. Number one is going to be the caffeine content. What do you want in a pre-workout? And there's no right or wrong answer here. I'll share with you guys what I look for myself. But what you want, what's important for you might be completely different. That's totally fine. So for most pre-workouts are going to have caffeine in them. It's what gives you the feeling of like being energized, of having to get up and do something and having it feel good for you to exert effort in the gym. That's what the caffeine does in pre-workout. There's other things in pre, but the caffeine is going to be the primary thing that you actually feel in your body. So for me personally, I look for around 200 milligrams of caffeine. That's my sweet spot because I don't take pre-workout every single day. But when I do, I want it to be high enough to where I can feel something, but not too high like 300 and 350 milligrams plus to where it's just way too much for a 1.5 or 2 hour training session, especially if I have some energy drinks during the daytime too. So 175 to 200 is really my sweet spot for caffeine. A lot of brands out there, some of the more intense pre-workouts, they're really loaded with all kinds of supplements. They will be a lot higher though. They'll be like 350, which is just kind of crazy to me, especially if you're taking that every single day. That's just gonna be way too much. Now on the other side of that spectrum, you'll have even non-stim pre-workouts, which means non-stimulant. All that means is they don't have caffeine in them. Now that can be a good choice for somebody if they work out late at night and they don't want to stay up because of the caffeine. It could be a good choice for somebody who drinks a lot of caffeine during the daytime and they don't want more at nighttime, but they still want to feel something. There's a lot of situations where a non-stim could be used, but for me personally, I'll use the caffeine pre-workout 3 or 4 times a week. Not every single workout, but around half of the workouts I do. The second most important thing that you'll want to consider is like, what supplements do you want in your pre? So for example, beta-alanine is one that comes to my mind first. Beta-alanine is the ingredient in pre-workout that gives you that tingly feeling across your body. You'll feel it in your face, you might feel it in your fingers, on your arm. Most people love it because it makes them feel like they got to get up and do something, like lift weights, but some people hate it. I know some women in particular, women are a little more sensitive, I think, to beta-alanine, and it can drive some of them crazy. So beta-alanine, it's not as common as the caffeine, but you just got to figure out, do I want beta? Do I not want beta? And then go from there. And then outside of that, the other things you want to look for in a pre-workout might be stuff like citrulline malate, which is a pump ingredient, carnosine, creatine. There's a whole list of stuff that's going to be valuable and important in a pre-workout. But at the end of the day, you just want to look for something that's efficaciously dosed, that has the ideal caffeine content for you. And something that's important for me, but I've heard isn't that important for other people, is I look for naturally sweetened. So that means that most fitness supplements out there, like protein powder, pre-workout, BCAAs, anything that's flavored like that, or even energy drinks, most of them use artificial sweeteners to make it 0 calories, 0 sugar. Artificial sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose are the most two common. And I personally try to stay away from those sweeteners as much as possible. I'll have them from time to time. It's not completely out of my diet, but if I'm using something multiple times a week, I try to look for more natural alternatives. So natural sweeteners are things like even a little bit of sugar. Sometimes sugar is in pre-workout. A couple grams I'm totally cool with. Stevia and monk fruit are the other big ones. So if a pre-workout fits my criteria of around 200 milligrams of caffeine, has beta alanine, has good doses of other supplements that I'm looking for, and is naturally sweetened. Those are like my 4 criteria of something that I would use. And other people might not care about the naturally sweetened. They might want a ton more caffeine. They might not want beta alanine. There's so many preferences, but you just got to figure out what's important for you. But those are the 4 categories of things that I would start with. And yeah, some of the brands that I could recommend that fit my criteria would be Transparent Labs. They have a good quality pre-workout, particularly their bulk pre-workout that fits all of that criteria. And Legion's pretty close, but their caffeine is a little bit too high for me. So I just do a half scoop of Legion. And then I add some of my own stuff to it. But yeah, that's what I look for in a pre-workout. Let me know what's important for you guys in a pre. If you have any questions about what any of those categories means, let me know. I always go through the comments. I appreciate you guys liking and subscribing to this video, and I'll see you on the next one.